So as you're doing this hit here, this first part, you're already kind of noticing what you have on that side. Is it a shock blaster? Is it a boom cannon? Regardless, you got to get rid of it. Rank 19 on my Captain Borealis account and Skull Army. I'm going to tell you how we did it. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 4 engine room intermediate to advanced strategy, with the focus being on the rocket chopper. Let's do this. Good morning, good afternoon, and yes, good evening, Skull Army and friends. It's your boy, your friendly neighborhood SkullCrusher, coming right back at you with another Boom Beach video. And in today's video, 4 engine room intermediate to advanced strategy, with the highlight being the rocket chopper. We're going to be showcasing some rocket chopper attacks here. It was the latest unlock on my tech tree. I'm actually at a point now when I do go pick up my next chest on Borealis if I will be getting laser rangers or the bombardiers. Today's focus, of course, will be highlighted around the rocket chopper, max level rocket choppers. Keep that in mind. And of course, I want to point out that this gunboat energy node, the one that I believe a majority of players did bypass, has been a blessing, an absolute blessing for the rocket choppers. I believe my starting GBE after I deploy 7 boats of rocket choppers is around, I want to say 30-ish. None the less here. It gives me plenty of room to multiple shocks, even a hack right off the bat, and hacks are important with these rocket chopper hits. You'll be seeing that when we do get into some of the replays here. Before we do anything, let me show you the laser ranger replay here. So this is what you are going to be getting hit with sooner or later if you are already not getting hit with the laser rangers. So I want you to pay attention to the left ramp far right side. Captain Everspark coming out with a delayed 2-boat heavy drop. Now the opponent does flare up to the sniper on the upper left side there. We do have a delayed 2 boats of laser rangers actually coming out right after the 2 boats of heavies there. Once the opponent does take out that top left sniper, they flare back, and again, a lot of flaring here. No Kavan to heal, no medics either here. I'm sure a boat of medics would go a very, very long way, but as you can see, now we have a delayed boat of heavies coming out on that right ramp with 2 delayed boats of laser rangers and a final delayed boat of heavies on that right ramp far right side. And now this just came down to managing gunboat energy, so essentially shocking as needed here. And of course, you know, the heavies acting as the meat shield for the laser rangers here, boom cannons and everything, pretty much chipping away at the heavies here as the laser rangers just go to town here. Now keep in mind, 100% troop health is going to be required to make these hits effective here, but yeah, absolutely steamrolled with the laser rangers from my Chinese character friend. So watch out, Skull Army, because they are out in full force here. Shout out to Chicken first. You want to give base credit to Chicken here. I did build his dirty 4 on Borealis yesterday, and of course we were able to push into rank 19 because of it. So yeah, I know Chicken's killing it yet again this season, so I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but yes, thank you, Chicken. This layout is absolutely kicking butt. Tons of fizzlers. So again, so look at this. 4 engine rooms left, 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 and then battle for the boss fight for 19 was actually full clear on both ends. I was just that much faster here. So, okay, we're going to start things off with my Chinese character friend here, a complete fizzle on his end, but of course we did end up getting 3 engine rooms. I probably could have got the full clear, but we did decide to retreat due to the fact that my opponent did retreat as well. So we start things off on the right ramp far left side, Captain Everspark and a boat of heavies coming out. Beautiful hack on the boom cannon right across the gap there as we do manage our shocks accordingly, pinning down boom cannons on the left and right, and letting our rocket choppers just glide across and do their thing here. So again, just managing shocks as needed. Pretty much once we get into range of at least 2 single shot heavy defenses that will do damage to the choppers, such as snipers, cannons, or boom cannons, we're cycling those shocks. A beautiful flare up to the top left there, of course, trying to outrange that boom cannon as best as possible, but one of the rocket chopper shadows did get in range of that boom cannon, and beautiful aggressive shock directly on the boom cannon as we then cycled a shock on the critter launcher, then followed up with a hack directly on the flamethrower. And at this point, the opponent had already retreated, so we pulled the retreat on our end, and yeah, we got out of there. So GG to my opponent, but yeah, beautiful win with the choppers. And as we continue here to Haddock 1994 here, again, full fizzle on his end, we did end up getting 3 engine rooms. So on this one here, you can see we did start things off on that left ramp, far left side with Captain Everspark and a boat of heavies coming out. I want you to pay attention to the fact that we are going to hack this mortar right here. So depending on whatever the... Oh, I guess... No, we don't hack this mortar. Okay, end up hacking this mortar because it was because of this attack that I was like, I literally lost some valuable seconds there by trying to let one boat of heavies and Sparky take out the mortar or whatever defense is on that left ramp, far left side. And we're going to start seeing a lot more layouts with that defense on that left ramp, far left side. And we're going to show you how we manage that as we get a little bit further into the video here. But a beautiful... Okay, I want to pay attention to here. Okay, so as I was explaining that defense on the left ramp, far left side, we literally managed the rocket choppers, heavies, and critters up front, distracting the defenses. Rocket choppers took everything off. We then had an aggressive flare to the top left, as you can see right over here on that bend right there. And then it's an aggressive flare over generally to the boom cannon that is on the right side on, you know, this area right here, because that's going to be in range of a lot of my choppers once we get onto this side, and we are able to actually cycle a shock once we do get closer to this side and literally pin down, you know, the 2 snipers, the rocket launcher, and the boom cannon in one go. So it's pretty important to take out that single boom cannon on this edge on the right side if you are doing these hits. So again, as we continue, aggressive shock there to pin it down, and as soon as we take it out, we flare back. And the reason why we flare back is because we now want to go all the way over across the map to the top right side. And of course, you're going to see a shock coming down, pinning down the machine gun and cannon. Now we just manage accordingly. So now pay attention to this area right here. That's exactly what I was talking about. The fact that we were able to cycle a shock and pin down the 2 snipers, the boom cannon, and the rocket launcher. So right now, it's pretty much that one rocket launcher that is, you know, going to be the biggest threat to our choppers. But the shock blaster actually caught me off guard. I think I was too aggressive on this. I did not scout the shock blaster accordingly because, as you can see, an aggressive flare. But at this point, I believe my opponent had already retreated. So we did get the win here, but I'm learning with my rocket choppers. This was the second attack I did with Borealis with the rocket choppers, so I am learning as we go along here. And by the time we get to Mr. Boom here, once again, complete fizzle on Mr. Boom's end. We did get the full clear on our end. As we start things off here again, these layouts with the 1 engine room on the left, 3 on the right. We do that 1 boat of heavy and Captain Everspark on left ramp, far left side. After about, 4 or 5 seconds, essentially a delayed drop of the 7 boats of rocket choppers. And it's just about managing your gunboat energy. Generally, the heavies and the critters should be up front, so you should not have to waste any shocks on this point here. So pay attention to that shock blaster, okay? Literally what I was just explaining in the last hit, you're going to see come together right over here. So that shock blaster was a boom cannon on the last one. So again, we flare back. We aggressively flare over. That shock blaster is going to cause a ruckus. Take out the shock blaster, then we flare back, and then we set ourselves up for the aggressive flare to the far right side. And then from here, we had a beautiful shock there, pinning down 2 cannons, a rocket launcher, and a sniper. We then followed up shock, pushing it back a little bit, getting the cannon, sniper, machine gun, and boom cannon. And again, because we have that additional gunboat energy node, we are able to cycle shocks aggressively. So that's what's making these rocket chopper hits so much more viable, is the fact that we do have that extra 50% gunboat energy. But look at that, aggressive flare on the boom cannon, aggressive flare on the machine gun. Well, we didn't actually take it out. A little bit of a preemie, flare back, set ourselves up. A little bit more GBE to get that final shock, cycle the flare, then follow up with the shock. Oh, the smoke technique! That's right! We did not even have the shock on this one. So now we've got those grounded Zookas right there, which bought us just enough time to keep these choppers going. And as we do continue, we did take the loss here. That was against our Laser Ranger friend here. We've got the JT here. Big shout out to the JT here. Once again, complete fizzle. This is the chicken layout just working wonders. And then, of course, we did get 3 engine rooms on our end. So this one was pretty aggressive here. I think I might have gone back to the heavies on this one. Okay, I'm really nervous then on this hit. I think I did go back. Yes, I did. Okay, I could not make up my mind on this one. So I went back to my trusted heavy rush. This is exactly what we explained in the 4 engine room beginner strategy video with regards to Captain Everspark, smoke, and heavies. So if you did miss that video, we're gonna have a card right up on the screen right here. I definitely recommend you check that out. So this video is essentially the next step in that 4ER evolution. So we've gone from beginner strategy with our heavy Zooka, Captain Everspark, our Captain Everspark heavy rush with smoke, the Grenadier, to a little bit more intermediate to advanced now, which the focus being around the rocket chopper. So of course, and stay tuned to the advanced video, which will be most likely coming out in a few days with bombardiers and laser rangers. So as we continue to GB Floet here, again, chicken layout for the win here, complete fizzle, and we did get a full clear on our end. GG, GB Floet. So this is where the hack, okay, so this is where we started to save ourselves some time here. So I realized that we can just hack the stupid defense here. We have that extra GBE, so now it buys us that time to just move forward. And of course, once the hack expires, the choppers will just go back and take it out. But it did literally save me about 5-6 seconds. So you're going to see the next few attacks here. We do end up hacking that defense on the left ramp, far left side, essentially to save time. So again, pay attention to the aggressive flare back. We're setting up for the boom cannon flare. We flare over, cycle the shock, take out the boom cannon. We got a little bit aggressive on that. We actually went for the rocket launcher as well, but there's the flare back and then the flare over to the top right. And then as we set ourselves up, we cycle our shocks accordingly. That extra gunboat energy is making these shocks just beautiful. So look at that. That's that shock that I'm talking about. A lot of these layouts are set up like this. So you are able to cycle one shock and get the 2 snipers, the rocket launcher, and the boom cannon. We were just talking about this on a couple replays ago here. So a beautiful shock point, pinning down necessary defenses that would just cause a ruckus for our rocket choppers. And then of course, as we continue the attack here, I think this was just kind of free clearing. We cycled another shock, pinning down the same defenses. I think we're just chipping away at a few of these defenses to get enough gunboat energy for that final Hail Mary with the shock on the boom cannon and machine gun. So we actually cycled the shock first, then followed up with the aggressive flare, and just like that, boom, goes the dynamite. And as we continue here to my Russian character friend, I'm sorry if I butchered that. So as we start this one off, 1 boat of heavies and Captain Everspark on the left ramp, far left side. We wait a few seconds here. No defense on that left ramp to hack. So now I think we actually hacked the mortar across the gap. No. We were smart. We saved our gunboat energy. So again, look at that. So the heavies up top distracting the cannon and the boom cannon, allowing the rocket choppers just to kind of glide effortlessly across here. We did actually cycle a shock on the boom cannon there. I think I got a little bit nervous there, but look at that. We've got that boom cannon on that side. So we're setting ourselves up for the aggressive flare back and flare over. So there is the shock pinning down the defenses. So again, that's a very important move here. So now the shock blaster just, ouch. But look at that. So we flare back. Now we're flaring right back over to the top right here. And again, that shock blaster was pretty gross here. So we were able to actually cycle a shock directly on it. And I think we just aggressively flared the 2 engine rooms, followed it up with another shock on the shock blaster. And again, I think I did see the opponent retreat or get the notification at this point and realize that we did get the win. There's the, that desperation smoke technique that I did talk about in the last video for that concentrated fire. Nonetheless, here the 2 choppers go down. Zukas with a horrible death, but we still got the win. And this right here, the absolute epic boss fight here for rank 19. So as we start things off here, rinse and repeat. 1 boat of heavies, Captain Everspark, left ramp, far left side. Few seconds, delay drop, 7 boats of our rocket choppers coming out. And just beautifully managing the hit here. So already pay attention to that shock blaster. So as you're doing this hit here, this first part, you're already kind of noticing what you have on that side. Is it a shock blaster? Is it a boom cannon? Regardless, you got to get rid of it. So I think we actually set ourselves up here to get rid of the shock blaster and the boom cannon. So as we flare back and flare over, there's the shock right there. We take out the shock blaster. Yeah, there's the aggressive flare on the boom cannon, and then we flare back. So a lot of you are probably wondering, Scully, why didn't you just get that engine room? Well, I want to set up the easy 1, 2, 3. So there was the flare back and flare over to the right side, of course, with that extra gunboat energy, making the shocks just a blessing here. Look at that. Beautiful rocket launcher and the sniper with multiple machine guns pinned down. And again, just kind of free clearing our way here right up to the machine gun, flamethrower, and a rocket launcher. And I think this was right to the engine room, and then an aggressive flare over with No. We flared back, then we flared over, and 2 shocks. Oh, we were just packing the gunboat energy here. Beautiful 2 shock cycle as 4 RCs bring it down, and the boss fight for rank 19. Boom! Goes the dynamite. Now my SkullCrusher account is essentially doing the same thing as well, although we do have that different style layout. I'm going to show you the layout that SkullCrusher is using. Yeah, this is a filthy layout. I am having the biggest brain fart right now for the player who it belongs to, but it's the top player in Sugarship 3.0. Nonetheless here, so, he was ranked 20. So, once you get to, higher 19 and into rank 20, closer to Diamond, you're going to realize that it's Laser Rangers and Bombardier attacks. So a layout like this is much more suitable to defend against Laser Rangers and Bombardiers. Now, it's not 100% going to stop it, but it's going to slow it down drastically. So you're going to see the evolution from the, you know, the chicken style dirty compact with the damage amplifier to the spread out to now combat the more advanced 4ER strategy with regards to the Laser Rangers and Bombardiers. Compact layouts are just sitting ducks for the Laser Ranger Bombardier hits. So yeah, great layout. I definitely recommend you build it if you are already running into Laser Ranger and Bombardier players. This is perfect to slow down the Heavy Zuka, the Grenadier hits. Even a lot of the Rocket Chopper hits are having a hard time on this layout as well. So it is working really well against a lot of the beginner to intermediate strategies, but once we start getting into an advance, yeah, it's fair play for all. So with that being said, Skull Army and friends, I want to thank you all so much for the love and support. We will be streaming again tomorrow, or at least being Saturday, March the 4th, 2023. Nonetheless, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are of 4-engine room intermediate to advanced strategy with regards to the Rocket Chopper attacks. If you have made it this far into the video, please do not forget to leave a like. It does mean the absolute world to me, does help the channel grow, and yes, of course, it does appease our YouTube algorithm overlords. With that being said, Skull Army and friends, we will officially be wrapping up today's video. Now, I think it's time to make like a Tom and cruise. We'll catch you guys later. Peace!